how do we know this is the imposter syndrome and not just feeling a little bit like that day, or actually struggling? Sometimes we don't know enough, or we still need to develop a couple of more skills. Perfectionism is one thing. So there's actually a list, and I have my little notebook because my memory is failing me today. Perfectionism. Have you ever spent hours doing something that should have taken you 10 minutes? Just checking every single detail, a brief to an agency, your numbers or slides on the presentation that you have to give to your manager or a cross-functional team the next day. Have you read an email you wrote at least 15 times? Just checking the spelling, checking the wording, checking the content, the figures, and just amending everything over 15 times. I have seen people in my team do that. I have. And to me, that was a sign. You might have to know everything. Those are, because the imposter syndrome shows up in different ways for different people. Some people need to be the expert. That's how they can control. So delving really deep into a certain topic, doing so much research, is really key for them. And the worst is when they can't answer a question. They don't know the answer. That could be during a boardroom when a senior stakeholders ask you something and you can't answer. A blank in your head or an information you just don't know. All of a sudden, your imposter syndrome probably says to you, see, I was right, you're incompetent. And that is the worst. It just fulfills this kind of vicious circle of you're not good enough, and I have a proof right there in front of you that this is true. The other one is a soloist. So for some people, you can only be good if you do the stuff on your own. So typically those guys won't ask for help. So it could be you, but it could also be someone from your team, never asking for help. Because if they do, the success or the achievement won't be attributed to them. And it's not by being selfish, or it really is because they don't think they're good enough, and therefore when they manage to finish something that is successful, this goes against the imposter syndrome. So therefore they'll always seek, they'll always do stuff on their own. The other one is about attributing success to external factors. So another typical sign is when people give you compliments, or the 360 degrees, congratulating you on a project well done, on an NPD launch that went successfully well. You won't accept it. You'll just say, it was teamwork, or the sales guys or the category team did the whole story, so my contribution was. You minimize your contribution, the value you've given to that project. That's also another sign. Social anxiety, when you're going to have to network with people, and take it away from being an introvert or not, being a bit shy. Social anxiety also is a sign of sometimes of the imposter syndrome. You're going to meet up with senior stakeholders at a dinner after a brand plan presented, and you're afraid of the small talk because, again, you just feel inadequate. You don't think that the level of discussion you can have is good enough for those guys, and so you're gonna maybe do a bit of research online on what's going on in the news, or what kind of smart topic. You're basically challenging your intelligence. That's what happens, because you just don't trust you can have interesting conversations, and there's loads of tools to deal with that. You could also be very sensitive to criticism. So having someone giving you a piece of feedback, even if it's rooted in truth and it's just one isolated event or example that they're using, you're going to take it so personally. You'll probably put it in this luggage that you're carrying with you to, the next month, the next job, the next organization. That little comment only linked to one small thing that's happened in that tiny short meeting, you will keep it with you for a long time, and you're giving so much weight to it than it deserves, and it becomes a sign of imposter syndrome, and you downplay your expertise. Sometimes I've heard many people and you wouldn't believe, I can't disclose for confidentiality purposes, but from all levels within the organization, all levels above director, saying that they didn't deserve the jobs they're in. So this is where I can help you, and I'm going to develop tools and workshops to help you with that.